Good afternoon, everyone. So, now we are going to start the topic measurement of time. Now, first of all, just think how our ancestors used to measure time. Basically, they used to observe some natural phenomena that were occurring in the nature. They used to find the time with those natural phenomena because those phenomena they used to show a particular pattern. For example, they used to observe and say that the time period between one sunrise to the next sunrise is known as a day. Clear? So for them, the time period between one sunrise to the next sunrise was a day, as they were not having clocks or watches at that time. And for them, if I'll talk about a month, then they used to observe the moon. Time period between one new moon to the next new moon was a month. Clear? And if I'll talk about a year, then the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution around the sun was a year, right? So basically, these were the natural phenomena that they used to observe in order to measure the time. Later on, watches were discovered. Now the watches that were discovered at that time, they were based on the periodic motion. And if I talk about the periodic motion, pendulum will come in your mind that you have read in class 6th, right? So basically, let us talk about the structure of a pendulum first, then let us talk about what is periodic motion. Although you know what is periodic motion, what is the basic structure of a pendulum, let us recall that. Okay, if I talk about a simple pendulum, then a simple pendulum is having a metallic end or a stone which is attached with a string and that is hung on a rigid support. This is a rigid support. This is a string. And this is a metallic end or any kind of the stone which is known as bob. So this is a simple pendulum. Now, just took this bob in your hand, move it to the one extreme end. Extreme end, you understand, to the maximum height. So like move it to the extreme end. Suppose here. This point is O. Suppose here the position is A. Am I clear? The string will be like that now. Now, take the bob to point A and now just leave it. What will you observe? The pendulum will move like this, right? It will move like this from A to O, then it will go from O to B. Suppose here is a point B. Then again B to O, then O to A. Like this, the pendulum will keep on moving. You can do this activity in your house also. Just take a thread, take a string, and at the edge of this string, just tie any kind of stone. Okay, and then just hold it in your hand and then rotate it freely. That is periodic motion, the motion that is repeating itself after a fixed interval of time. Okay, now let us understand what is one oscillation. When you leave the pendulum, it will move freely from one end to the other. This to and fro motion is oscillatory motion or periodic motion, as it is repeating itself after a fixed interval of time. Am I clear? So it will move like this. You have seen the motion of a pendulum. Am I clear? Now, just let us talk about what is one oscillation. Suppose from O point you have taken the pendulum to A point. Now when you will release it, just understand, from A point you have released the pendulum. Now how the pendulum will move? From A it will go to B, and then from B it will go to A. This is one complete oscillation from one extreme position to the second extreme position. Am I clear? From A to B and then B to A, or from A to O, then O to B, then B to O, then O to A. Am I clear? So this is one oscillation from A to B and then B to A. And time period to complete one oscillation is known as time period of the pendulum. Clear? The time taken to complete this oscillation is known as time period of the pendulum. Am I clear? And pendulum shows periodic motion. That is, it repeats its motion after regular interval of time. Clear? So on the basis of this periodic motion, only the watches and the clocks, they were made. Clear? Now, let us do one numerical. Suppose there is a pendulum. Now, the pendulum completes 20 oscillations in 32 seconds. Clear? Now what you have to find? You have to find the time period of the pendulum. Now just see how can we do this. We have to find the time period of pendulum. They are saying there is a pendulum. This pendulum is making 20 oscillations, means 20 times, like this. 20 times it is oscillating. Suppose I am making it from O, then O to A, then A to O, then O to B, then B to O. This is one oscillation, right? So like this it is making 20 oscillations. And for those 20 oscillations, the pendulum is taking 32 seconds. So you have to find the time period of the pendulum. I told you now only time period of the pendulum means time taken to complete how many oscillations? 1, right? So we have to find time period of the pendulum. It means we have to find time period of one oscillation. Am I clear? So they have given you time period for 32, sorry. They have given you time period for 20 oscillations. So they have given time period for 20 oscillations. This is equal to 32 seconds. I have to find time period of the pendulum. That means time period for one oscillation. Right? And that comes out to be 32 divided by 20. Right? That is 1.6 second. Am I clear? Now, let us talk about another topic, that is unit of speed and time. First of all, let us talk about unit of speed. Sorry, let us talk about unit of time. You know that the basic unit of time is second. But yes, we also use the bigger unit, that is minute, hour. It depends upon the conveniency. Like suppose if I want to tell my age, I'll tell it in years. I can't tell it in days. I can't tell it in minutes. That would be impractical. So if I want to tell my age, obviously I'll tell it in years. If I want to tell the distance of my house to my school, I'll tell it in kilometer or meter. If I'll talk about the time taken by me to cover the distance between my house and the school, obviously that time will be in minute or in hour. That time won't be in years. Are you getting my point? So we use the unit according to the conveniency. Now Let us talk about the unit of speed. Unit of speed is meter per second. The basic unit of speed is meter per second, or it is kilometer per hour. We also use meter per minute. Is that clear? Now if I'll talk about the unit of distance, then for the distance, you know, it could be meter, it could be kilometer. It depends upon our convenience. It depends upon the distance that we are measuring. Clear? So if I'll talk about the time, then earlier the smallest unit of the time that we can measure, it was second. But now we are having special watches. With the help of that, we can measure the time that is even smaller than 1 second. Clear? The watches, the sports watches that are used in sports, it can measure 1/10th of a second, or it can measure 1/100th of a second even. And in the researches, in the science researches, we have discovered the watches that can even measure the time that is 1/1,000,000th of a second. Just imagine, 1/1,000,000th of a second. We can measure this much time. Or 1/1000,000th of a second we can measure. But yes, for that we are having special kind of watches that are used for the research purpose. Clear? If I'll talk about the invention of the clocks, then there was a scientist, Galileo Galilei. He was sitting in a church, and in the church, on the ceiling, suppose this is the ceiling of the church. So from the ceiling he observed that a lamp was hanging like this. He was just sitting here and he saw a lamp was hanging, and the lamp was moving. To and fro motion was there like this. Now he was observing that lamp very carefully. He was observing the motion of that lamp, and he observed a very unique pattern. Okay, the pulse rate, his pulse rate was somewhat similar with that pendulum. They were showing a pattern. In last chapter I told you that your pulse rate is 72 times in a minute. In 1 minute your pulse rate is 72 times. So he observed that the lamp was moving in such a unique pattern that it was resembling the pulse rate. That is, the time period for the one oscillation was somewhat constant. Am I clear? So from here the idea for the development of the clock arises, and the clocks, they are based on this only. The clocks, they are made on the basis of the periodic motion only. Okay, the time taken is uniform. The motion is repeating itself after a fixed interval of time. Am I clear with the concept of measuring time and what are the different units of time and speed? Okay, now let us talk about the devices that were used in the past in order to measure the time. Okay, so in the past, basically persons used to use sand clocks. You might have seen the sand clock also, right? It's type of this type structure. Water clocks, they were also used. Sundial, you can see the sundial at the Jantar Mantar in Delhi. They were used to measure the time in the past. Am I clear? Now, like if I'll talk about the distance, if I'll talk about the unit of distance, we used to say its unit is meter or centimeter or kilometer. Now, if I want to write 5 kilometer, 5 is a plural, but the unit will be singular only. I'll write 5 kilometer. I will not write 5 kilometers like this. No, it is wrong. I will write 5 kilometer only. So unit you have to write in singular form only. Am I clear? Okay, now let us talk about the quartz clocks. You might have observed that the clocks that we used to use nowadays, they are having an electric circuit. they use one or more than one cells. These are known as quartz clocks, and these used to measure accurate time. If I'll compare with the clocks, pendulum clocks that we use in the past, if I'll compare with that, then these kind of quartz clocks that works with the help of the cells, they are having the electric circuit, they measure the much accurate time. Clear? Now let us talk about another topic, that is measuring speed. How can we measure the speed of an object? Let us do an activity. Let us discuss an activity for that. Measuring speed. Okay. Suppose this is the ground. On the ground, just draw a line. One to 2 meters away from this line, suppose you are standing or your friend is standing here. Now, tell your friend to roll a ball and you just note down the time. You are just observing the time. Clear? With the help of your watch. Now your friend will roll the ball. Now obviously if he has rolled the ball will move on the ground. Suppose this is the ground, and after a certain period of time the ball will cross this line. Right? Now note the time when the ball will cross this line, and this distance you are aware of. Either you can use a scale to measure this distance. So now for speed, you know the formula. Speed is distance covered by an object per unit time. So speed is basically distance divided by time, right? So suppose the distance is 2 kilometer. Sorry, the distance is 2 meter. And the time taken is suppose 30 seconds. So the speed came out to be 1/15 meter per second. Am I clear with this? Now, you will be surprised to know that the speed of a tortoise, it is 8 centimeter per second. Speed of a tortoise, it is quite slow, right? And if I talk about the speed of a rocket launching satellite in the Earth's orbit, the speed of that rocket launching satellite is somewhat 8 kilometer per second. So this is the variation. Just see, the speed of a tortoise is 8 centimeter per second only, and speed of a rocket launching satellite in the Earth's orbit is 8 kilometer per second. Am I clear? Now suppose you have been provided with the speed in kilometer per hour. You have to convert that speed in meter per second. Then how will you convert? So now let us see an example for that. Suppose there is an organism, his speed is 112 kilometer per hour. Speed of cheetah is this actually, 112 kilometer per hour. Now we want to convert this in meter per second. Then how can we convert? 112 is there. How can we convert kilometer into meter? 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. So we have to multiply it by 1000. Per hour. R is in divided form. Right? How can we convert R into second? 1 hour equal to how many second? 3600. Or 1 hour equal to 60 minutes, and 60 minutes is equal to having 60 seconds. So this is meter per second. So if you want to convert any value in meter per second, if you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, then you have to divide it by 1000 and divide it. Sorry, you have to multiply the value by 1000 and you have to divide it by 3600. That is 60 multiplied by 60. Now, what will be the result? Speed will be, we can cut it down like that. Clear? 2 3s are 6, 2 5s are 10, 2 3s are 6, 2 5s are 10, 2 6s are 12. Am I clear? 56 multiplied by 5, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. meter per second. When you will solve it, you will get the value. Am I clear? So if we want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, then we have to multiply the value by 1000 and we have to divide the value by 60 into 60 or 3600. Am I clear with this topic? How can we measure the speed? Thank you.